Welcome to the Shabbat Channel, a taste of CSAIR in your inbox. We wish that we could be with you in person, but for now we think this is the next best thing. So check out this week's episode for music from an amazing artist and Torah from our own CSAIR community. For now, you'll have to supply the Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom.
In 2013, there was an article in the New York Times that really stuck with me. It was about what constitutes a resilient family. And the article talked about how families that tell stories about their past again and again build greater connection and resilience. And they're kind of two stories that families tend to tell that build resilience. One is an ascending story, which is we had nothing and then we worked hard and we succeeded and we got to this place. And the other is a descending story. We had it all and we lost it, but we were okay. And it's these stories that make sense of moments that were difficult and challenging, and add flesh to them and personalize them such that young people who hear them identify with them and see themselves as inheritors of the resilience of their families. I was thinking about this when I was reading this week's parsha, Vaera, which is the second parsha in the book of Shemot of Exodus. Towards the beginning of the parsha, there's a very famous section that talks about God's intention to bring us out of Egypt. And in this section are four verbs in a row, which all are they're synonyms, and they mean various ways of explaining how God is going to save us, how God is going to help us, which God ultimately does. It says, "V'lakachti etchem," I will take you out. "V'yitzalti etchem," I will save you. "V'ga'alti etchem," and I shall redeem you. "V'lakachti etchem li la'am," and I shall take you to me as a people. These are the four stages that God will take us through. It's an ascending story in the language of that article from the New York Times. And in fact, it's an ascending story that we tell every Passover. In fact, in the Jerusalem Talmud, it explains that the reason we drink 4 cups of wine, and maybe even the reason we talk about 4 children, all the fours in the Passover Seder, is because of this language of Geulah, this language of redemption, these 4 different terms which signify an ascendance in our relationship with God and in our state in this world. Aviva Zornberg, the famous contemporary commentator, talks about how telling, again, like this article I read in the New York Times, talks about how retelling the story of Passover builds it for us and makes it personal, such that the story that actually happened b'chipazon, and it says in the Torah that it happened in harried, crazy ways that people couldn't even quite process what was happening to them. As we retell the story every Passover, that is actually the process by which we build redemption, or we build towards redemption. That it's the telling of the story that gives it flesh, that makes it come to life for us, that allows us to build that kind of resilience and a sense of a trajectory that actually moves us as a people towards resilience. This really resonates with me this week. We've been through a hard year. And at the end of the year, I sat down with my kids and my nephew, my teenage kids, and we recorded a kind of audio time capsule of our memories from the year. And I wasn't thinking about this particularly, but in retrospect, I realized that this is what I was trying to do. I recognized that in capturing some of the details they remember from the year, that they would begin the process of retelling the story of this year for themselves in a way that would flesh it out and give it meaning and allow them to build resilience and allow them to tell the story of what happened during this last year to their families and help them to build resilience. And maybe ultimately that will lead to stronger families, and to a stronger Jewish community, and to maybe a stronger democracy and a stronger world. So I bless you all this Shabbat with lots of stories of your family, stories of resilience, and a spirit of storytelling that gives you faith that what feels meaningless right now will be fleshed out and lead towards deeper meaning and deeper resilience in the future. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi CSAIR, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Rena Branson, and for those of you who are familiar with the Rising Song Institute, I was one of their full-time music residents last year, and I'm so excited to get to be here with you on the Shabbat Channel. Even though this week's Torah portion is when we're just seeing the first 7 plagues in Egypt, I'm going to fast forward us to Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, the moment when Israelites rejoice after the parting of the Red Sea. In this moment, they are learning to see God's power, and they're also at the very beginning of a long process of coming to see their own power and potential as they recover from the dehumanization of slavery. The song I'm going to share with you is called Our Power, and it's about this process of moving from fear and insecurity into collective action for the sake of human dignity, and of moving from the pain of perceived isolation into the truth of our interconnectedness, which, though it can be hard to feel these days, is ever present. I'm grateful to be here and to be connected to all of you right now. And gesturing back towards Shirat Hayam, this song includes a line from davening that comes shortly before the Amidah prayer that says, Shira chadasha shibuchu geulim, l'shimcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu. I translate that as, with newborn song, liberated people praised your name on the lip of the sea. All were one in thanks. This is our collective past, and this is also my hope and prayer for our collective future. All of us together in thanks. May it be so. We will not underestimate our power any longer. We know that together we are strong. We will not underestimate our power any longer. We know that together we are strong, like drops of water shape the rocks as they rush down the falls. We know that together we are strong. We will not underestimate our power any longer. We know that together we are strong. Shira chadasha shibchu geulim l'shimcha sfat hayam yachad kulam hodu. Shira chadasha shibchu geulim, sing with me, על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו like drops of water shape the rocks as they rush down the falls. We know that together we are strong, like drops of water shape the rocks as they rush down the falls. We know that together we are strong. שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם